yo.
All right. Another episode of the RSL Random Fan Karaoke Night. Was that your
Podcast.
We've got a couple of games to talk about, but first, before they do that, make sure you follow us. We never say that until the end.
Yeah,
I thought we started at the front. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. You know, we're doing well on a lot of those. Almost
YouTube.
600.
Not to toot our own horn, huh?
Yeah.
No.
Over 500 followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Way. We could use a lot more, so.
And Insta.
Yeah.
Brennan does good work over there. Oh, Brandt does too.
Yeah,
I don't
Brandt does
Insta,
most
but-
of it.
I try. So you got a almost 60-year-old guy doing Instagram, so please help us. Help us out. Help us out.
Wow, you're
Go
almost
with
60.
I'll go with the pity.
I was just going to say, that's creeping up on you, huh?
Yeah. Somebody said it was skibbity, no cap.
Wow. Whatever that means.
So RSL had a couple of games. You know, I guess after you've paused and gone and followed us on all of the social medias and YouTube and goals.tv, RSL had a game against FC Dallas on a Wednesday night at home. And
Most people were at home
Yeah.
on that Wednesday night.
I mean, the people that were there were loud.
yes.
I mean, if you follow us on Twitter, I posted some rowdiness and some boisterous voices, but we also got out early. We got after them. That was good.
we'll start with the lineup. We had Gavin Beavers, our new starting goalkeeper. He's holding it down.
Position 1.
Position 1. And then we went across the back line. We had Philip Quinton, Justin Glad, Vera Brody. Catranis was out, didn't he? He picked up that dumb yellow, right? Or is this...
Is that FC Dallas?
Yeah, that was the Dallas.
Oh, yeah, because
game.
Crooks played for Dallas.
Yeah,
FC Dallas.
Catranis played in the second game, but not the first.
Yeah.
And then Anelli and Ojeda and Markchuk got a start. And Crooks in the middle, along with Lachlan Brook on the right side, and Anderson, Julio up top. We had a good conversation before this game with Jose Tellez from the founder, the main man with Goals.tv, who happens to be, sadly, an FC Dallas fan.
Well, he grew up in the system, you know. He's a product of the system there in Dallas. You know, he's Hispanic. He's bilingual. Like, FC Dallas grew up in his blood, man.
You used to say that for the Guadalajara fans
Yeah,
and the Chivas fans.
yeah. And now that Dallas has some,
Yeah.
like, grown-up fans in the faith, so to speak.
So he was excited for the match because it was going to be the first game where they had all of their
Talent.
designated players
They're
on the
big
pitch at
names,
the same
yeah.
time. And for the most part, what do you think about the game overall before we jump into some thoughts? Since we've got two games to talk about, we might not get too in-depth. More about impressions.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Julio doing really well, pushing for more playing time, may cause the coaches to change the formation a little bit to include him a little bit more. Pressing, back pressing, chipping the goalie from midfield, like working his butt off, man. Not tiring, but I mean, they still pulled him out late in the game. I think it's 77th minute or something, but you know, worked his tail off, one player of the game. That was very impressive.
RSL had a great start, 11th minute, about the 9th minute, though, when Anderson Julio into the box and gets accosted, violently tackled, down for an obvious penalty kick, right? I think there were nunchucks and brass knuckles involved.
Yeah, it was a little soft, though.
All right, it was.
So why was
Yeah.
it soft?
Why was it soft? Because it didn't have anything to do with the ball. Julio had a forward lean to him.
Yeah, 'cause he's trying to hold him off.
Yeah, and he went down when he should have went down.
And LeBron James shoved him with the elbow in the back.
Yeah, I just think it's an inconsistency with the refs, though.
Yeah, that's not called consistently across the league.
If that was called consistently, then I think we would have much different play in the box. But it's too gray, unfortunately.
I didn't almost died there, but I didn't think so.
He's alive.
I thought it was. I want to see that one called all the time.
Really? Because I think. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say because he goes in with if it's shoulder, if he doesn't extend his arm out, then I'm with you guys.
Yeah, but he's behind him.
He's a little behind him, but if he goes in there, just kind of nudges him, and Julio's going down, then I
Little
can think,
baby bump.
let
are
it
you,
go.
Julio?
But with the extra elbow, I
Yeah.
think it was pretty obvious that he was trying to affect Julio, keep him from the ball. So with that little extra, I think that's what makes it an obvious PK for me.
Well, if you flip the coin on the other side, and we redid this podcast, and it was 2-3, Dallas won. Dallas got a free penalty, and then they also scored a goal from half. I think one of our co-hosts would be livid with the type of refereeing that is going on in the league and all that. Because I think if it went the other way and it was Dallas in that same situation, we would say that there's no way that's a penalty.
I wouldn't. No, I would take it.
I don't know.
I'd say that I think that's a penalty. I would say that Brian Vera quit taking that
They're talking about it would
extra.
be Andrew Brody. What are you talking about?
No,
Andrew
man.
Brody gets so
Center
physical in
back.
the box.
You know who it wouldn't be?
He's throwing people's elbows everywhere.
I'll tell you who it wouldn't be, and that would be Justin Glad.
You
Brian-
don't think so?
No, I don't. I don't think Justin.
Glad's gonna try to jump and run around him.
Yeah, I
Oh, he's
don't
gonna be
think.
quick,
I don't
yeah.
think Justin Glad has fulfilled his potential and become that
Oh my gosh.
that dominant stopper in the back. And
He's not dominant.
I know,
Right.
that's the
But he's a
point.
stopper.
He's not.
He is.
He's not.
He is. He is so a stopper. He is the quick moving, get in front. He is the safe bet to stop the ball.
He's not a physical presence. We don't have.
Well, what generally is a physical
he's
presence,
not
though?
Olave, right?
Well, a lot of-
He's not an Olavi. He's not a Nat Borchers. He's not.
Okay.
He's more of a Nat Borchers.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
he's
think
got
he's even Nat
talent.
Borchers. I think he's talented. But I don't think between the two center backs, I've thought about this the last couple of games,
Mm-hmm.
and the defense, the goals we've given up. I don't think we don't have a center back that is making themselves a presence in the back against the
I think
other
I think
players.
there could be better leadership from Glad, more consistency, more hey, ball went out, you're marking him, get over there, get on that guy now, that kind of stuff, which really showed in the Portland game, but it showed also in the Dallas game right after half. Yeah, it was on the other end. So
we beat the like Anderson Julio, we beat the PK to death. But Anderson Julio, what do we think about the wonderful goal in the 24th
could have had a hat
minute?
trick if he would have taken the penalty, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Would've
that was
had a
another
hat
one.
trick.
Why is Homeboy taking a penalty?
Well, in the post game, they asked him, "Hey, why did you take the penalty?" And he's like, "I really wanted to score. It's been a while since I've been in the lineup." That's what Vera said. And he's like, "I went over and I just said, hey, Julio, can I take this one?" And he's a good teammate, so he let me.
Oh, nice.
That's what he said.
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
so good
cool,
to hear.
right? Like,
That's
Julio
way nice.
Showing up, yeah.
See, that's something we need more of. And I think that his comments. Did you see that Instagram post where they translated and he was talking about how everybody is their own leader, but they all work together and stuff. I think that was really mature of him, and
Nice.
it shows. But once again, I still think Glad is great. I think there's two ways to peel a banana, and I think you just peel it one way, and then Glad's peeling it another. You know.
Yeah, I like the method where you grab it with two hands like this and just pop it open.
Well, that's a third
That's
way,
how I
and that
open a
is
banana.
more barbaric.
That's how the monkeys do it.
I do the
No,
bottom.
they do it from the bottom. The monkeys do it from the bottom.
I do it
Oh,
from the
I've seen
bottom.
them pull them apart like that.
Well, also
I'm
that's
a
why
monkey.
their hands are like this because they have so much muscle they can't actually straighten them out without having to force it. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, that's like one of the
'Cause they're
actor
so
from
strong.
Planet of the Apes or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is weird because he just like goes into full monkey. But yeah, he was talking about that and he's like, yeah, I got to make sure my hands were right because they had so much muscle and it has to bend and all that.
Wow, cool.
I have a hard time watching the Planet of the Apes movies.
Haven't watched a
Which
single one.
The Planet of the Apes or the
I would just watch the
Like
most
14.
recent one.
Yeah.
But the thought of human extinction really makes me uncomfortable.
Well, it's going to happen soon.
And us not being dominant on the planet.
yeah.
So, but we're taking care of that all by ourselves. But anyway, so the second goal, it was a beautiful goal. He didn't even look at the goal.
Yeah, so that goal set Gavin Beavers as the youngest ever goalkeeper
to get an
to get an assist in an MLS match. How cool is that? Now Beavers owns a MLS league record.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool, right? I mean,
That
because
gotta
it was a
piss
pretty
off
cool
McMath.
clearance too. And I also thought Brooke was going to have it, right?
Oh,
it
dude.
looked like he was going to get it, and then it kind of sailed over his head, and then Julio kind of like neck trapped it. You know how it's kind of like halfway between your head and your shoulder, and you don't want to like stick your shoulder up because you think the ref might call a foul, right? Like did you see that one in the Premier League this week, where it hit the guy's shoulder and they called a penalty? No
way. Which one?
No, it was in the derby. It was in the Inter AC Milan derby.
Oh,
hit his shoulder and they called it a penalty, and then they went to VAR and called it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So didn't actually hold, but yeah. So Beavers with that clearance there, that back pass and clearance out of the back, left-footed, mind you. Remember, we've been worried about his left-footed service, and Julio just makes a little shimmy and a little shake and just launches that ball. And as soon as he kicked it, I'm like, that's going in.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm like, Julio just chipped the keeper, and then the crowd went nuts. It was awesome. It was like I made it happen. I didn't make it happen.
You willed it. You willed it.
I mean, I put it out there to the universe clearly, and then it happened. Like, it was already happening.
Well, you take ownership of something.
Clearly, I had no influence on that. I'm just playing. I had
Wait, this is the same story you talked about when you said about your brother? Like you told your brother, and I told my brother this is going in. I gotta
hang up, bro. And then the crowd went nuts. It was like I predicted it. It was funny.
Gosh, man.
Yeah, it was great. Anyway, good times. Good times. What a chip. What vision. What class.
I think we're getting used to those.
Good
it's like the third
freaking job, Julio.
chip in the last few years.
Pablo
That's
Ruiz,
amazing.
Chicho, this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm a little upset that Lachlan hasn't been able to connect. I mean, he did have a good opportunity in this game.
Yeah,
that he kept on the ground. He's just so close to being so explosive. Like,
yeah, definitely dangerous.
He can get on a hot streak, I think.
Yeah, and once you can take dangerous and put it into deadly, that's when you're making a real difference for the team. And I think that we've been seeing it with Lockie and with
Mark Zook.
Mark
Zook, yeah, good player.
It really, worked out for Mark Zook in this one.
And it was, overall, it was a well-played game by both teams. I thought RSL was a little bit better. After speaking with Jose, I was expecting FC Dallas to be a little more prepared and kind of ready to go and to take it to RSL, but I didn't get that impression that was generally the case. And with these two games, I think for the most part, you could see that the amount of time together and the practice that RSL is kind of getting back into form. Because I watched the second half. I was at work for the first half, but I caught up and watched the rest of it. But watching the second half, I was like, man, these guys are playing together again.
Yeah, it was a well-played game.
You could feel just through the TV.
You feel
and the
it
universe.
Through the TV and the universe.
You could feel that.
And Tyler's brother.
That they were kind of like back to having fun playing the game and playing well together. And there are some new players integrating into the team. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, man, are we going to get Chicho back in there?
Yeah, once Chicho gets his hotness back in there.
How do we get Chicho back into the game?
That's a good thing to bring up. That's a really good thing, because I was thinking about this. I don't want Chicho starting. I don't want him starting, and I want to save him because he doesn't look 100%.
He doesn't.
Like, after that hamstring, I think he's honestly taking it quite easy, because at the beginning of the season, he was very, very aggressive. I mean, he was like a workhorse forever. But now it's kind of like we need to pull back on him and save him for like the big games that need him, because he is a difference maker. But I think Mark Zook is stepping up to be a really, really great option. I mean, he's really good on the ground. And I feel like Crooks can still do stuff. I think we're giving up on him a little too quick. And I'm not an English how do they say that? Bandwagon? Groupie? What's the one I get on my knees? Yeah, I'm not like a huge fan of him, but I think what he brings to the table can be utilized way more.
Yeah, and a good way to control the game too. I think Crooks does a great job of controlling the game.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, I think he played a really, really good game here. And that kind of takes us to that weird moment right before halftime where Crooks fouls Velasco, and then he tries to get away and just dribble the ball down the field. He keep going, take a yellow card.
But casually. And that led to the other casual, defensive-minded.
But yeah, everybody else just sat behind the ball. And
so what is the rule? So what is the rule on this?
So the rule is you don't have to wait for the ref to restart a throw-in, a free kick, an indirect free kick, a direct free kick. It doesn't matter. Unless the ref has to set something up. So if there's a caution, right, then the ref has to set something up. If it's a penalty kick, the ref has to set stuff up, right?
Or if you ask for the 10 yards.
Yeah, if you're the attacking team, you can always just go. But if they're still in the way and they're not getting back, you can kick the ball at them, and the ref can then determine if they delayed the restart or not. But then you're leaving it to the ref. If you don't want to leave it in the hands of the ref, you ask for the yardage. The ref steps it off, draws the weird line with the spray.
Pulls his whistle out, their whistle out, his or her whistle out. Sorry, Tori. And points at it.
Yes. Wait for the whistle. Yeah. But otherwise, when a foul's called, you're supposed to just set it where it was and take it. And I thought they took it 5 or 6 yards ahead of where the foul occurred, but going back and watching it, that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. And if you
he
look,
took it right where it happened.
If you
stupid freaking
like perfectly.
Dang it.
And we've been lamenting about the fact that RSL's defense has kind of sputtered.
Yeah, they turn off in weird moments.
Yeah, and if you look at...
And that's exactly what happened.
So we got it stopped here. Mark Zook's coming over, and Jesus Ferreira...
we love him.
The Diego Chara
what a great guy.
The Diego Chara of Dallas.
Yeah.
But you have 1, 2, 3, 4...
at least.
4 defenders with their back turned, and...
They could have easily stepped in and been the wall.
Uh-huh. And
they know this.
And you got one guy pointing over here.
Yeah, let's be clear. They know who's supposed to be in the wall. They know who their assignments are. They're the same people who mark Jesus Ferreira on free kicks. So when Jesus Ferreira goes to get over the ball, that person is supposed to be the wall. Mm-hmm. And it's not Mark Zook because he's guarding the guy out wide.
Yeah.
So we don't know who it is.
And here's the funny part. You've got
he's the only one
Gavin
there.
Beaver standing on his post.
Trying to set up the wall.
And there's no one there. Who's he talking to?
That's weird to think this because it's almost like a lack of professionalism.
Yeah, I was the high school center back, right? And
you were.
I was back in the day, and I felt
if you
like
want to refer back to the old episodes,
almost MLS,
and he was balding by then.
I was pretty good for the West Division 3, Section 3. I don't even remember. I was decent for that as a senior, not as a sophomore or junior.
No, you had a lot of growing up to do.
Yeah. Anyway. I always made sure everybody was marked on every single free kick. And guess what? Sometimes people took it quick, and guess what? We were there to try to smash them when they did. That was one of the things we were not going to get surprised by. How does that happen in a professional
That's great.
game?
Just think of the irony, though. All these issues are just in their backyard could be fixed. All they have to do is go to the 1993 Hunter season of soccer, and they could learn so much.
No,
and it's just right in their backyard.
No,
it's funny how it's just right underneath their nose.
No, it's just being in tune with the game. Look, 3 guys are not even looking at the ball.
Yeah.
No, he's looking at the ball. He's looking at the ball.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Is his head turned?
There's got to be a word for this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There's got to be a word.
Yeah, okay. So these 3 are looking, but they're way out of the way.
And this guy, who's that? Who's this? Is that
Anelli?
No, Vera. Over there. Somebody wait in the back. He's pointing. Hey,
looks like Clint Mathis.
Oh, it might be Quentin. Well, hey.
Hey, somebody go over in front of the wall.
Oh, and before we kind of got, I had a note here. I wanted to start this too. Before we started talking about these 2 games and some of the stuff, a reality check. Where is RSL in the standings?
I would say we're a solid 5th place.
3rd.
We're 2nd.
Oh, no. I know what your question.
Oh, until tonight when LAFC finishes off whoever, right?
Well, no.
LAFC has been playing terribly. No, but the point is, in the West, RSL's in 2nd place.
But they play as though they're 5th.
We are 5th in the Supporter Shields.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
Supporter Shield, but they won this game. They got a point in the next one, but they're still in second place. And yeah, they're not. They've had
Games
a
in
bad.
hand and blah,
They've had a
blah,
bad
blah.
run of form, but they have started to. We've seen signs that they are coming out of that. So I just want to say, all of our criticisms are like, yeah, it's fun to be critical of a team in second place.
Yeah. That
it's
clinched
not
a playoff berth.
It's not like we're at the bottom and we're like all pulling whatever's left of our hair out.
Yeah.
We're a solid 1 point
so
above
to your
Colorado
point,
and 2
right.
above LAFC, even though
So
LAFC's only played 29
Big picture. Big picture, yes, this is fantastic. However, leading to the playoffs, this is when we need to get critical of foolish things.
And we're also 6 points out of 7th place.
Yeah,
So
this is kind of like a habit for us. We do turn off, and it's happened multiple times. It's going to happen in the next game that we're going to talk about.
It's really silly.
We turn off, and a team in second place in the West should not be turning off at all.
Exactly, and I think just want to couch our criticisms with the fact that we are so pleased that RSL is in second place in the West, and this has been a fantastic season.
So awesome.
We don't want to, because there isn't a lot to complain about. Really?
No, just a couple situations.
So let's not. Don't take.
But
take it with a grain of salt.
17-year-old Tyler knew how to defend this play. That's what I'm saying, right? Like even dumb Tyler in high school
in high school,
knew
though,
how to freaking defend
go,
this play.
Can we go back 33 years?
Whoa! How old do you think I am, bro?
Was it 93 that you?
Yeah.
Wait, no, you were a senior in 93? No,
yeah, senior.
I thought the school started in 93.
No, it started in 91.
91?
91 is when it opened. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because your aunt was there.
Okay.
Jana. Hey, Jana. If you, I'm sure. Jana
nobody in my
listen.
family listens to this. Are you kidding me? So,
thanks, Bortles.
how many?
Just call
See
him
that
out,
joke?
Brent.
That joke
Just
is like so specific that
dude.
nobody else is going to laugh.
No one listening
that's,
is even
that's
going to.
not very good. So
We know someone's wife doesn't listen.
all three of us.
My wife, I told her about that one episode.
And she listened
Where
to it?
Tyler might get in trouble, and she listened to that one.
Oh, she did. Yeah,
okay.
my
She thought
wife
it was
doesn't.
funny.
I said, I went home and said, you should listen to that one. I talked a lot about you. And she was like, okay. And then she never did.
That sounds like my wife.
Okay.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay. Sounds
Yeah,
great.
but did you win anything in Hunter High School?
They made it to the playoffs that one time.
We did win a playoff game.
Yes.
Yeah, my senior year, we did win our first playoff game.
So what happened?
Then we played Bingham for the third time that year, and they
What happened?
just had our number.
What happened?
With what?
They got to
When we
You
stand.
got
won?
to you got to playoff, and then what
so
happened in the
we,
game?
We lost to Bingham twice in the regular season, and then we ended up playing them in the state playoffs. And I really would have rather played, some Brighton or whoever up on the east side and got smashed, but it was frustrating playing them again. And we had one guy got hurt, and they were better than us by a lot.
You'll have to crack open that VHS tape, and we'll watch the highlights.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
can we
I
just
wasn't
go to
good.
KSL and get
I wasn't good. I just towards the end, I just started kicking people. I think it was 5-1 at the end of the thing.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
tough.
So I was like, Coach, I'm playing forward. We're gonna score on these guys. I don't care. And then I did get an assist in a state playoff game. So it's not nothing, but
In the record books.
I mean, it's not something. We didn't win, so it wasn't much. But I wasn't bad.
All right.
We're
I did play some high school ball.
We are literally like the three most least experienced actual soccer players to be
what'd be
talking
fun
about
is
soccer.
if we totally took on the other podcasts in soccer. That would be
We would
so much fun.
lose. Are you kidding me? He's almost 60. You're broken, but you got great biceps, and I don't even play. So it's like there's no way. Like all three of us would be picked goalie if it was a pickup game. You know what I mean? Like that's what they do. They're like, "Oh, you can't move very much. You're our goalie."
You're a goalie. Get in there.
Yeah.
But we love the game. We watched it. We watch a lot of it, and we love the game.
And Jesus Ferreira did score a banger, and it went
Good for
in
him.
off the frickin' post. Your favorite highlight of the week? Brandt is heartbroken.
I am not a
as a result
Jesus
of that.
Ferreira fan, but Gavin Beavers did play relatively well. He had some nice saves, but to FC Dallas had some opportunities to steal a point. RSL had probably a few more opportunities to few more opportunities to maybe get more than 3 goals. There were some definite chances there. And I think that Quentin pass, which we just saw
to Mark Zook to Julio,
might be.
It was the fake by Mark Zook that was delicious because he could have just played it, but he did the fake and he just ran it down.
And the best thing about the fake was it didn't give the defender a chance to grab him and take the yellow.
Mm-hmm.
He just blew right by him and dodged him, and then played just a beautiful ball. Like if you play winger, you want to learn how to do a ball like that. You play the ball early, often, and hard and low, and your speedy forward's going to go get it. That's what you got to do, is put it out there. Don't leave it close to the goalie so the keeper can come out and get it. Paz is a great goalie.
He was threading that because Dallas's back line almost got a touch to it.
Yeah,
if you watch the highlight.
You want to put it right at the penalty spot. That's where they say to aim, is get it right to the penalty spot, because the keeper doesn't want to come out that far. And that's almost where it went.
He gets a little touch on it, a nice little flick to keep it from going out of bounds, and then he runs on it, and then Julio's in the right spot.
And he was onside.
Yeah.
Kudos to Julio is the MVP of our team right now.
Well, definitely on this game for sure he was.
And yes, and like I said, I watched the second half. It was beautiful.
Then we made some subs.
Yeah, and that was interesting because the game kind of turned a little bit into. Of course, Dallas made some sub too, right?
Yeah.
I should probably look this up, huh?
You got it.
Let's see. Here we go. 57th minute. Luna came in for Brooke. Julio scored, and it was 3-1. Then
Dallas
Farrington came in.
Yeah.
Gonsalves came in for Julio. Hidalgo came in for Mark Zook.
So they went offensive, and we went.
Kamungo came in for Rera in the 81st minute, and then Chang came in for Crooks to really seal the win.
Yeah. I just thought of something. Didn't we say something at the beginning of the season about how many points we would get in a single season? And you said we wouldn't even get 50.
You said 20. And
yeah, wasn't it something
90.
just so pessimistic that it was hard to sit next to you for this whole season?
Yeah.
What was the number?
It's been really difficult.
We'll have to diagnose that.
When we do the
I think he
season
said
review.
42 or something.
Yeah, he said it was something like 49.
Squeak into the playoffs.
Yeah, we're sitting at a fat 51 points.
Fat 51.
Squatting right at the top of the table.
Prove me wrong, man. I want to be proved wrong. So we're up 3-1 and kind of cruising, and then let's see when we get to the playing well, playing some good defense, and then we get the
and then stupid sexy legit with this stupid sexy cross and
lovely cross, and then.
Yeah.
Handball.
Brian Ojeda doing the YMCA in the middle of the box while going for a header.
Dude, don't do the Y.
He should have done the M.
But both of them did. The other guy put his hand out for the other part of the Y, so it did make a Y.
I think they were trying to make an O.
I think it was Musa. And then...
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
And it hit his hand, right in the hand.
Yeah, you can't say anything about it, but you kind of want rules to change. It's kind of it's not deliberate. It's not he's trying to.
But this one I'm okay with because... He headed it on frame. That ball was going on goal, and it hit his arm. I'm 100% fine with that. It's when the guy heads it, and it's going out of bounds.
And somebody touches it.
And somebody trips the guy, and he puts his hand out to block his face from going into the turf, and it hits his arm, and they call that a penalty. That's where I have a problem with the practicality of the game.
Because they can't make up their mind. A couple of seasons ago, maybe it was a little longer, we had that game in Vancouver where our player was falling down and it hit him in the arm.
Yeah.
And it was right. Yeah.
And it was no threat on goal at all.
No, and it was right next to his body too.
Right.
They hadn't changed that up. So I don't know if they'll ever figure it out, but you don't want to go too far where people are just using their hands willy-nilly.
Right. Yeah, they're just flailing it.
And you don't want to over legislate the game so that there's no room for interpretation for the ref.
Mm-hmm.
But
so then it was 3-2, and then they were set up for a barnstorm finish,
but
bandstand finish, I believe they say. And we did have Quentin had
somehow we got caught out.
Yeah, And
in
it's
the
always at
95th minute.
the latter stages of the game. It's like our defense doesn't know how important it is to win. It's so crazy that we get put in these situations over and over and
How
over.
are they getting played in behind us in the 95th minute?
We should have them locked down. We should have possession of the ball. We should have it where the center backs know that they can be beaten. They need to hustle back.
Right? And stay back.
Yeah, it's so funny because, what was it, 2 years ago, Pablo was the king of defense, right?
Yeah.
Like, we were so defensive minding.
They were subbing in our favorite players
Eric
into
Holt
defense.
was in there. He's going right in
Yeah.
the center. He's going to ruin that
He's
stupid
gonna
game.
Be like, we're going to have 3 center backs for the end of the game.
Yeah, and now
we got 1?
No, it's like an afterthought.
Half of one?
Like, I don't know.
But that could have gone so much worse.
Well, it could have been what's going to happen in this next game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I just pulled it, Tyler.
all they had to do was square that ball. Velasco was standing
he's
there
done.
by himself.
But he looked offside at the beginning.
Yeah, but
Did you see that?
Yeah, he totally was at the beginning, but
So-
the ball didn't go to him. So the secondary ball coming across, he would have been behind the ball.
Doesn't that player have to get behind a defender, or does he just have to get behind the ball?
Just the ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one of the more
they
important
could have
things-
just squared that, and it would have been a tap in and another tie.
Here's a big question.
Ooh, I got a little answer.
Ooh, big question.
Pablo's NASCAR jacket. Thoughts?
Oh, 100%. Take it all over the place, big dog.
NASCAR jacket.
What
are we doing?
If I was going to
We're
do
trying
press,
to cross
that
sport.
was going to be my first question. Didn't matter how good the game was, how bad the game was. I said, so can you get that jacket, and
said
why
it-
is it so lucky?
He said it was bad, and he will never wear it again.
No, he didn't.
Did you listen to the press conference after?
No, I
I
work
think that
a lot.
jacket's like $200.
Yeah, it's something like that. Something weird. But yeah, they did ask him about it, and he did say it's ugly.
Really?
Yeah. But hey, I'm not a fan of multiple sports. I'm a fan of soccer. And then after that, I like football. But football, right? And then football. And then Australian rules football.
Yes.
And
footy.
then right? And then beach soccer, and then blind soccer, and then like these are my favorite sports in order.
And then women's Major League Soccer.
Right, and then all of the same sports, but with women, and they're all right in there as well.
You brought up
And
Australian
then-
rules football, and there is a little guy right over there,
Footy.
footy guy, for St. Kilda. That was. We watched it for a long time. My wife and I
Oh, nice.
watched footy. Yeah, they
Check out the
Yeah, they bring it
biceps
up
on
on
that
Bluey.
dude. Holy cow.
They
Yeah.
bring it up on Bluey. In fact,
Jeez, Chris
Bandit used
Evans
to
over
be
there.
quite
It
a
was
quite a guy. Yeah.
probably
Quite a player.
early 2000s St. Kilda. They played against Collingwood, which is like the big club that wins the title all the time. The Dallas not the Dallas Cowboys.
Man City.
Yeah, like the Man City of footy, and St. Kilda played them in the grand final, and they tied. So you know what they did?
What?
Did they go to overtime?
No.
No.
They
They
shared
played
it?
another game.
They both
Oh,
got
no way.
they both got gold medals.
No, they played another game. There is no overtime in footy unless they've changed it since then. So they played like the Super Bowl of the sport. The two teams tied, and they said, do it again.
Well, they do that with the cup. Which cup is that? There's some British cup where if they play to a tie, they just go play in the other stadium. Right?
All those are the
FA Cup. I think.
FA Cup when they have the ties.
Yeah, if you have a tie,
in
then you go play in the other stadium.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
if
wow.
you're the road team, you kind of are hoping for a tie because then you get to bring it back to your stadium.
Yeah.
And your owner wants a tie because then they get a home game.
And, yeah, money.
Right? Money.
So back
Anyway.
on topic. Orange slices for that game. Thoughts on the
Julio. And, Quentin. Quentin did really well out on the right. He did kind of mess up on that last play, but he recovered enough to
stop
between
it.
him and Keeps to get it all swept up. So take your pick, but I just gave 2. So giving out orange slices left and right. You guys have to give out tangerines now. There's nothing left.
I'm going to go with Mark Zook and Brooke. Since we're doing 2.
Oh, jeez.
I like those guys.
I'm going to do Pablo Mastroeni for his jacket.
And David James.
And who else? The intern Asher. You're such a nice guy.
Asher, yeah.
Seriously,
I
dude.
do
You're
that
so
guy,
cool.
yeah.
Awesome.
I'm a
Asher.
huge
He's
fan
a
of that
cool
dude.
guy. Yeah.
Straight up.
So
good
yeah, I'm
guy.
just going.
What an intern, man.
Internal. You know what I mean? I like the
I
office.
like it.
I like him.
Nice.
Nice. So, all right, let's get to the second game. RSL against the Portland Timbers, all the way down from the armpit of America, Portland, Oregon. So the starters were a little bit changed. I was surprised that with the changes, I was mildly, happily surprised. I did not think Chicho was starting. He didn't, but we had Beavers in goal. And Catranas, Vera, Glad, and Quinton again at right back. I was kind of surprised at that.
Well, you think so because of Brown's performance?
Not necessarily Brown, but I thought Bodie and Brody.
Yeah.
Quinton has done. Is he the right back now?
I think
don't.
so.
I don't want him to be.
After
but
this
he's,
Portland game, I think he
done
has
well.
to be.
He's done really well.
Yeah, and Brown came in and did not show well.
No, he might end up back on waivers. And then we had Caliscan. I did not see that one coming, but this was the revenge game because he was drafted by Portland and they let him go.
And he said a couple funny things in the pressers. Remember? And he was like, well, you know, being around such a class organization, I've never been around one in my life before.
That's right. And then we had
a huge
Nelly.
step up in class, right? And we're like, whoa.
And we had Luna, Crooks, and Mark Zook and Julio. I had those, but I did not have Quinton and Caliscan in my guess for the starting lineup. So, and we were in the press box. I was in the press box, and it was a pretty heavily rotated side for
In the press
Portland?
box?
for Timber. Yeah, we had didn't have anybody in any of the press box. We did have 4 people from concessions. And no, it was pretty heavily rotated.
Heavily rotated. Yeah. Got a Ford representative in there from the...
Yeah, and a guy with a Toyota wouldn't shut up.
Dude, tacos are so reliable, bro. Have you ever taken them off-roading? Dude, seriously, the V6 is just, it's bulletproof.
Bulletproof
Do
engine there, bro.
you know a guy named Sam? He's got like a 94.
Dude, 4Runners, dude. They're like, especially like the 4th gen 4-wheelers.
Oh, and the Sequoias, bro.
Oh, actually, I really want a Sequoia. I really want a Lexus LX 470.
Which is the Sequoia?
It's the
Big
Land
brother?
Rover. It's the Land Rover.
Oh, Land Rover.
Land Cruiser of...
Gosh.
Yeah, Toyota.
So good looking.
Yeah, because they can tow, but they're also like incredibly...
Yeah, bulletproof.
I want like an international harvester.
Oh, boy. So, anyway, back to the heavily rotated side. Portland didn't start all their big guns. They put Diego Chara on the bench, but
Yes!
they still started the weekend.
Keep him there. A little. Anyway, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean the weekend. He still started.
The weekend.
Yeah, that guy.
oh.
Did you know
What's his name?
Evander is the lead singer for the weekend?
He is
No,
not.
shut up.
He's
Same
got
guy.
a different haircut.
I've never seen them in the same place together. Plus, he performed at the Super Bowl. Look it up.
Never seen him in the same place.
Have you? Okay, then. Heaven's sakes.
But you know the Portland, his nickname they call him Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So
Awkward. So we start off really well in this game.
and
We're
without the
getting
weekend.
after it. And
Without the
Julio trying his best to do his very much my MVP performance. Gets wide. Knocks a sweet ball across.
It's a lovely
Mark
little
Zook
chip.
takes it down. Realizes the defender's still in the way. Takes a little baby touch. And then passes it past. And scores in the 10th minute.
That's his first goal, right?
First goal for Real Salt Lake.
Or
Mark
MLS.
Zook.
Right?
And
Yeah,
Mark
MLS.
Zook and Brody, they look like they were separated at birth.
Yeah, he looks like his
I was
going
going
to
to say, when Mark Zook is running, he looks like Brian Ojeda.
You think?
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like with the
Same
hair
stride.
and like the dominant nose they
Oh,
got.
I can see that.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a little lighter haired, but yeah.
Kyliscan kind of looks like
He
he's
kinda
gone.
looks like Rusnak, dude. That I saw him out there, and I was like, dude, that 11 and the Polish sounding name.
It could be the same person. I've never seen him.
Never
I
seen
mean,
him
never
say
seen him
that.
in the
I've never
same
seen
room
him seen him in the same place, man.
Oh, wait till we play Seattle, then we'll see.
That's good because my theory about Justin Glad being Will Smith is still pretty solid. I still have never seen him in the same place. And also, what was weird was after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, That's when
went to
Justin
an
Glad
Inter
was
Miami
hurt.
game, yeah.
Justin Glad was hurt, and I was like,
That's right,
oh,
that's
could be the
right.
same person.
Yeah, and then he was at the Inter Miami game, and then he didn't play here. Like it was a whole thing.
Keep his.
Pull the ham.
On
I don't know.
that play though, nice cross, nice and soft.
He was taking touches.
And
Julio.
Mark Zook, that was a lovely touch with his right foot.
And I love that, dude. We're usually so direct, and he took that extra time. He knew he had it. He took that
soft-
touch inside, little baby touch.
That little touch with his right foot to get him past
Yep.
the defender.
Felipe
and
Mora. And I was kind of watching the Portland stream, the Portland Twitter verse while we were playing them, and they were all talking about how their left back was a waste of space during this game. So,
Well, and then I felt bad in the 14th,
Tell us how you feel.
14th minute. I don't know who it was on the team when
little baby.
Mark Zook had that lovely left-footed shot that pawed
Pause.
out to the right.
Not pause.
Or,
That was the last game.
Who is he?
Cripple.
Crepeau, guy from LAFC.
Cripple. Yeah.
Who he potted out to the outside for a corner kick, but the
I think Kamal
defender
Miller.
for
Oh, it was
Portland,
Arujo. Yeah.
they just caught that strike right where
Straight between the legs.
Oh, is that why he's down? He got hit in the balls?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
yeah.
it was square.
Oh, it was, pretty direct.
Yeah.
If he wasn't down, you'd be like, is he okay? Like, what's it? Yeah, he was down for a good
And there's
little while.
there's a funny joke I've seen on Twitter and TikTok or wherever it is, or on MySpace about the difference between the joke is that gentlemen getting hit there is more painful than women giving birth.
Oh, boy. I don't know
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, because when was the last time you talked to a guy and says, "Yeah, hey, I think I want somebody to kick me in the in the nuts again." But women will have.
Multiple babies.
I think they just forget. But
It's a good joke.
Whatever.
I
I don't know
it's
how
funny.
jokey that
But
is. I think we just
But
alienated.
We are not.
No, let's
in
cut
no
it.
way.
All
In no
10
way
of
are
our
we
No,
saying
let's-
that it's more painful.
All
It's
10
here's
of
the
our
thing.
the
female
joke.
listeners.
The joke will be funnier, but it's more about the delivery.
Yeah.
And I
You
don't
gotta
think you
deliver
really.
that.
I was
kind of
afraid.
just chunked it. It's like when you
Touche,
take a
the
free
delivery.
kick.
Very good. Yeah.
You kind of chunked the delivery.
Yeah. Well, I was.
It was good. You were recalling it. You know,
I
you're,
don't like
you're
to
almost
be-
60. It's
I
understandable.
don't like to be.
Remember when
inappropriate.
Michael Scott was trying to teach Kevin how to deliver better, and he was talking about the Chris Rock?
No, I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, you go watch it.
I wasn't
So,
an office guy.
Don't watch it, kids.
This first half with RSL was really good.
Beavers
There's
had a couple good saves.
There was this one right here. I thought this is the one where Julio almost scores the goal. There's I think Luna. Is it?
Crooks with that turn though. That was a sweet turn.
So
to
who
get
gives
that
the
started.
pass to Crooks here? Let's
So
see.
you know they can't see what we're seeing. So you
I
can
know.
let it go and then talk about it. You don't have to pause right before, so we don't even know what you're talking about. We could relive it. We'll pretend
okay.
we are not seeing
Unless you're
this.
gonna splice it into the
You could probably do that.
conference.
Oh my gosh, he should have had that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, sorry.
But see what am I telling you?
No, he's mocking you.
So,
So
tell us
I thought that would have been like team goal of the season.
what
Was
would have been.
the pass through? I was just
in
talking
Break it down
about.
for us. They don't know what
Go
we're talking
to
about.
the 1857, 19th.
That's already
minute.
done if it's already at the 1857.
Yeah. 20
All right.
seconds before
You
that.
tell him then.
Okay, I'll tell him.
All right.
So my
So there
dad
I
really
was.
loves this possession of play. They Crooksy sends the ball to Mark
That was a
Zuke.
good turn.
It was
And
an amazing
Mark
turn.
Zook tries to send it over to Luna. Luna heads it over to Julio.
Softly.
Julio lifts it just a little too high over the crossbar, and he is protesting that the goalie got a hand to it. And Luna looks like he needs to go back and get some hydration because he is sweating like a dog.
And if he just puts that ball right to the corner,
But he was
Instead of
lunging. It's so hard to lunge and put any sort of touch on that ball. But if he could have just turned his foot just a tiny bit,
it would have been like team goal of the year.
then
I
it
agree,
would-
yeah.
it would have just drifted into that
It
far
would-
post. And
It
been
was
so
so lovely. And I was
beautiful.
like, man, this team might be back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and then not too long after that, little whoop whoop whoop, and then
And
a
then
little
mayhem in
bit
the
of
box.
controversy.
Yeah, so let's talk about
Controversy. Yeah.
that.
So again, good passing, breaking the team down. Catranis plays the ball in, and it goes right past Julio, but it hits Kamal Miller, and then it goes like a through ball back to Catranis. So he's not offside because he didn't touch it. So that was the first concern, right? On the replay, on the broadcast, they talked about 4 different things. So that was the first thing. Second thing was Kamal Miller hit it, and so Catranis rushed in on Crépeau, and they both got there about the same time. And either way, it popped out of there and went straight to Luna. And, I've been waiting all season for a ball to just pop open to a guy in the box that's just going to tap it in. We've had 5 or 6 chances like that. I think we've skied them all. So claps for Luna on that one.
So one thing, Tori Penso goes to tell us the story of what's going on. And as a fan base, I think we're a little immature. Because when Tori Penso talks, you just listen. You don't do anything, because to start with, 2 guys were offside. However, they were not, whatever she says, and we're still booing like the entire time she's talking. Because I'm like, dude,
that was dumb. Just listen.
Yeah, just listen.
It was 2 RSL players were offside, and it's a goal.
Yeah,
that's all you heard. And everybody's like, "What?"
Well, it's because I think what she was trying to do was so her compatriot.
She was trying to set the
was
stage
saying,
because
it was good for her to raise her flag because 2 RSL players were in an offside position. However, now that I've seen the play, they were not involved in the play. Yeah. And they didn't block Crépeau from getting back. And the far AR could not see that. She couldn't tell if Crépeau was trying to get back and they blocked him or not. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's why she called it. And then Tori went with that and then went, they called her down from the booth, which, hey, like in this game, the refs had some rough times. They really did. I was not a fan of the way this game was refereed in large part. It was a huge disparity in total
what
fouls.
What a great jacket, by the way, too.
Yeah, that's a better jacket.
The black one with Real on the front.
Yeah, that one's classy. Sorry to interrupt, go.
No, you're good. You're good. 18 fouls for RSL. Like, way too many. She was calling ticky-tacky stuff, and it's because Portland was throwing fits, and then she started calling it tighter for them.
Oh.
And I was like, what? I don't think that's how the game should be refereed. I don't think she thought it should be. And so I'm a little disappointed in that, in the way that Tori handled that. Now, Brooke Mayo and Catherine Nesbitt, all-female crew, did a decent job, but they both got a call wrong. You know what I mean? Like, didn't show well for the all-female club for me.
Yeah. Well, before we get there was an opportunity for RSL to go up 3.
This is what I wanted to talk about.
Okay, you talk about it.
So, I would love to see Real Salt Lake turn into a high-quality finishing team. One thing that you see
so many chances,
at the highest level is you see eyes observing. How low percentage is it to come off the wing and take the ball all the way in and score? The goal is the smallest margin when you're coming in from the angle. All the highest quality teams are always looking for that outlet or that side pass. And this was such a great opportunity.
45th minute, 46th minute.
Second half, yeah.
Beautiful opportunity.
Good play out of the back.
And if we really were a team that was a leader, like how he was saying, we're all leaders and all that. If we were really a team's team, this is a dish off to Luna, wide open goal. It would be 3-0 at the end of this game, and we would have 3 points. And right now, that was an Andreas Gomez style play, and that's why one of the reasons why I was okay with him being gone is because I wanted the mature side of the team to show. And this is not the mature side. This is still the I am a one-man show, give me the highlight reel. And that's not going to win a playoff.
Yeah, no, all he had to do was lay it off sideways. Luna was ahead of the defender, and he was 10 yards away from Kamal Miller. And it was a tap-in, and we're 3 up in the 46th minute. But he didn't. He went for that far corner and thought he could zip it past him and just zinged it by the post. A bit selfish, yeah.
Was that Markzuk or was that Julio?
That was Julio.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, great pass to Julio. He stayed onside. I don't know if he was actually onside, but
So then in the 61st minute, I think
they were not
building.
ready again.
not
was
ready
building.
again, but also
Portland started playing better.
well, they also made subs.
Yep.
They made some subs. They brought in their better players, and that kind of turned the table. And also, I think RSL made some.
Because at
subs,
halftime,
too.
they subbed in Eric Miller and pulled out Bravo, who was getting his butt kicked. And then Williamson got a yellow in the 48th minute, which we'll talk about later. And then Toy came in for Mora in the 51st minute or 54th minute. And Rodriguez came in for Moreno, and Paredes came in for Ayala.
And what about our subs? What in the second half? Did you already?
We
say
didn't
that?
start our subs until the 61st minute. And Julio came out, Arango came in, and then Brown came in for Quentin in the 62nd minute, which I thought it was weird that we subbed twice that quickly together, but we hadn't done any sub windows.
Well, yeah, we did the
So-
subs before their first goal. That's kind of, but only a minute, like right before. So
Yeah, and
on the corner.
but it
so-
kind of shows the level of commitment there. Like, I don't know what we were thinking. The ball went out, and we just kind of shut off there in the 61st minute.
Well, and that is the sign of a well-coached team that watched RSL's previous game and noted that
They're slow.
These guys might shut off because watching this, like, hey, he's hurrying, and RSL was again just turned off.
Yeah, Beavers is
Unmarked.
like, get out and mark that guy, number 15, and he was not marked at all. And the ball
Catranis
came right to him in the 6. And, okay, fair, he did not hit it well, right? Number 15, Eric Miller. He was unmarked. And he didn't hit it well, but it fell right to their other guy who just kind of played this little baby soft ball, and Beavers was in a weird position to be able to try to block it. And it was just kind of too late, you know. It was the weird, stupid goal.
And you had Catranis and a couple other players with their back turned.
Yeah,
Not even-
and Brown. And I think it was Brown's guy. I think he was supposed to mark.
Yeah, it was
Miller on
Brown.
this
You
guy.
saw him like, oh crap.
Yeah,
and then
he ran out
towards him.
late, and if he missed his assignment, he probably won't play next game.
Oh, I
That's what I'm
wouldn't.
saying, right? Like,
wouldn't.
Pablo's kind of that kind of a guy. If you can't find your defensive assignment, game over, right?
So you could kind of sense that the game was kind of turning.
Mm-hmm.
And Chicho came in, and RSL had some opportunities to get it to 3-1. And there was a shot by Chicho that went wide.
Ojeda.
And then Ojeda went wide. And then, Justin Glad was still later in the game. He was throwing stuff up there, too. But for the most part, Beavers played relatively well. We'll get to some of the other stuff. But I thought on the pitch it was interesting that the non-starters, they were playing against the rotated Portland team, but I thought they played a little better than when. So just goes to show there's still probably some work to integrate everybody into styles of play. And how do we get Chicho back in form? Like, I don't know if it's our responsibility, but how does RSL get Chicho back in form? What can we do, guys? Let's give Chicho a call. So it's 2-1, and it feels like RSL's kind of gripping and choking, and then we got that free kick. What thoughts on the free kick?
I can kind of give it to Beavers a little bit. Like the arc of that ball, I bet it kind of played tricks on him. He was thinking it's going to sky pretty high. But the action he got on that ball had that late drop. I don't know if McMath would do better. Do you
On that one, no one's. I don't know anybody that's getting that ball.
Come on, guys. All I thought was...
We can.
You know we can get in trouble, right?
No, that's just... It was a 2-second clip. It's less than 2 seconds. It doesn't count.
We can get in so much trouble.
No way. If the weekend comes after us for that 2-second clip and giving them some cred, then
I
so
don't know.
be it. No,
Beavers is pretty tall. I think he could have got
he
that.
should have got it. He's shooting. Come on, bro. He's shooting. You see him approach the ball. There's two places he's going to go. Far post
Or through the wall.
And you got to trust your wall. So what do? You cover the far.
Yeah.
And he didn't even go after it.
He kind of jumped to his right, too.
It's a 35-yard shot. I know it's short. Like, the guy hits it hard, and he's good at it. And it was placed brilliantly just under the bar. But you're 6'5", dude.
Yeah.
Go get that.
I'm kind of surprised because that you two went that way because I was the opposite. I thought there's nobody getting that. I think there's keepers that get close.
Or
Beavers,
world-class keepers make that save.
World class.
But he was blinded by the light.
Looked up like
he couldn't see clearly.
But he also jumped to his right too.
Yeah, he did a little hop.
And that's what I'm saying. Trust the wall and go the other way. And if he curves it, it's going to take longer to get there, and you're going to have more time to shuffle over and cover.
But I don't think he's getting to that. I don't think there's a keeper in MLS
That's what Dunny said too, but I don't know. I tend to believe in the ability of keepers.
The things we disagree on. I'm always fascinated.
I know, it's incredible.
So it's
Do better, Beavers.
2-2 now. Oh, and almost had another chip.
Well, and the foul that happened when the Weekend had his shot there, like, that was not much of a foul, right? There were 3 or 4 fouls like that were not much of a foul. And Torrey was like, we're giving it to him.
All right, let's go back to, before we get to the end of the game, it's 2-2 right now for those following along at home.
How can you follow along to our podcast? Like,
no,
literally,
we're too random.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude, like, we bounce around so much.
But that's the fun part of us.
Yeah, we're a good listen. My mom said. That's what Mom said.
Your mom doesn't even listen, like, watch this. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I know. She'd be so embarrassed. I can't believe you said that.
No, she just doesn't care. I mean,
so anyway, let's talk about the officiating. I am an avowed ref lover, and I think Tori Pencil's one of the better refs she's had.
I think she's at the forefront of reffing.
But I have to agree with Tyler. I don't think she had a great game.
No.
And I'll tell you, I am not a fan of the way Portland plays. I'm not a fan of the way that Kansas City plays because I think they are teams that take the idea that the ref isn't going to call all the fouls, so we're just going to play
commit as many fouls as you can
and force the ref
quantity over
be
quality,
a little dirty. Hope the ref doesn't catch them all.
Gamesmanship, and I think it's a disrespect to the game. I don't think it's. I don't like it. I just don't. I mean, there's no perfect team out there, but I just don't like that attitude, and I think it disrespects the game a little.
And I think there's a difference between playing hard and playing tough, and then crossing that line to, like, you're playing a little dirty.
Constant gamesmanship, constant trying to. Anyway.
And in this game, who was doing that?
Williamson?
Yeah, Williamson should have had probably a second yellow.
The question I was going to ask. That second foul, you know which one it was? It was the top right at the midfield, and he just wallops Caliscan.
Yeah.
And anywhere else, that's a yellow card. But because it was his second one, and Tori probably doesn't want to have an effect on the game, so she doesn't give him the deserved second yellow. And what does she do? She has an effect on the game.
Right.
And which was really highlighted on the next day, not in Major League Soccer, but in the Arsenal game. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
And
Arsenal, Man City. And
what
Arsenal
a great
goes
game.
up 2, and so Man City scores first. Arsenal gets back 2. There's a whole controversy there, which we'll talk about later.
Oh, yeah.
But
The red card?
the Oliver, I think it's Michael Oliver, he called the second one, was it Torgerson or Toron?
no, it was on
Sorry, with a T.
Belgian guy.
Yeah, Toron.
Yeah, Trossard.
Yeah,
Trossard.
Where he came in and very similar foul.
Yep, very similar foul.
And then he also kicked the ball away, and I think that's why they gave him the second yellow. But the ref gave him a second yellow in the first half.
Yeah, it was stoppage time of the first half.
Mm-hmm. And had an effect on the game. If he doesn't make the call, has an effect on the game. So
And then Man City, their win streak is broken because they came back and tied in the 90 minute.
So the question is,
but
how do you want the refs to
stupid
call
Man
the game?
City.
Do you want they're going to have an effect if they don't make the call or they make the call. We saw it in the 2013 MLS Cup, right? Who
Yeah.
didn't get a second yellow?
Exactly.
What's his name? We don't like him.
Oh,
For Kansas City.
yeah, he's a coach in the league still. Yeah.
Aurelian Collin.
Yep.
Did not get a second yellow and goes on to score the game-tying goal. And the game-winning PK.
Yep.
He had an effect on the game. The ref didn't want to make an effect on the game. Had an effect on the game.
But he took two guys out that were in on goal. Both were dogs, so it should have been red for either one. But, we're not mad about that still.
Speak for yourself. So there's a question like, would you rather have the ref pull out that second yellow because that's the way the game is supposed to be called, or do you want to keep 11 on 11 the whole time?
No, I want a cleaner game.
Yeah. And that's the only way you get it is by following the rules of the game. And that's
regardless of the situation.
Right. And I try to tell refs that in youth sports too. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, I coached 3 different teams, and they're all out here West Side teams. And one of them was like a U13 boys team, right? And they're to that point where some of the kids are full grown and some of the kids are not, right?
Yeah, that wonderful time.
Right. And so some of the kids are like men, and they're still playing against boys. And so when these men run over these boys, you got to give them a yellow card. It's excessive force. You have to, or they're just going to keep doing it, and you're just going to keep calling fouls, and these little kids that haven't grown up and they don't have their man bodies yet are just going to get smashed over and over and over. And that's how you officiate the game. You say, bro, that was way too hard. That's your warning. Next time, yellow card. Then they can't do it again. And the skill of the game comes out and is born again.
Yeah.
Reborn.
Yeah.
Well said.
So I thought that was an opportunity to do the right thing, and she didn't. And as Tyler pointed out, she also kept calling fouls on RSL. So we're 2-2, and then the 89th minute, Brody thought he was going to have his head taken off.
I was like, stick your head in there, Brody.
Stick your head in there and makes a lovely pass out of nowhere to Chicho.
Outside of the foot.
And they get it to Diogo, and just a lovely finish.
Jogo.
First
Beats
goal for us.
Crepo to the far post, his near post, right, and just zips it in there. And you think, game winner, 90th minute.
No crits
game's
for you.
over.
2 weeks.
Lovely side of the foot pass to Chicho, splits 2 defenders, top of the box.
Just puts
Bam.
it 2 feet
And then you
inside
think the
post.
game is over, and so does half of RSL.
Yeah.
They think the game is over.
Yeah, so they're not chasing the ball down. In
I'm
the
literally
corner.
walking out of the stands.
No,
at
you
this
were
point.
walking out.
I was walking out of the stands.
my.
My brother told me, and he was like, "Don't walk out. Don't walk out of the stand. Something's gonna happen." And I was like, "No, you're so wrong, brother." And I walked out, and then boom, what happens?
It's like
Brown gets caught
minute later.
sleeping.
It's like 2 minutes later. They didn't even take time to remind each other. Let's go. Let's toughen up. Let's pack it in. Let's not let them.
It was pretty much the next play down the field.
Really, and honestly, like watching the replay, Brown should have had that guy.
He glanced over, like if you're watching the broadcast, he
Looks
glanced over and he's
then
like,
just kept
he's
fading
not
inside.
coming. And then Rodriguez ran in, and the ball went right to him.
Yeah,
It was a great ball, to be fair, but you got to deal with that, Brown. You can't wait and then panic. It's exactly how we gave up the second goal to these guys. Or first goal. Yeah, because the second one was by the weekend.
And I'll tell you this. This one, I
think
Beavers could have stopped it. You know what? I think McMath makes the save there.
McMath's always near post. He covers the near and gives up the far.
Experience.
And Beavers doesn't do that as well as McMath.
And how many times he gets beat near post? A ton.
Way too much.
And he is young. He's 18.
And to be fair, the ball was
18,
driven in pretty hard. 19.
Yeah.
And he headed it on the 6, so hard to react from there. Very little time to react, but he should have been one more hop to the right.
He should have been way over there to the right because he's got the defender there. he's going to make. He has to know it's going to be difficult to go across and far post.
Yeah, he's not sitting in the middle of his two greatest angles.
Yeah,
No.
so he should be a little bit over.
He's favoring a forehand return here, because he has a very weak backhand.
Look at that. He kind of short arms it.
He doesn't do a
with,
split step.
with so many such long arms and wingspan.
Should have got something to it.
I think
Well, if he
maybe next year he gets to it, right? Because he's young, he's learning. But I think McMath, he might have given up 7 goals before this one. But I think on this one,
he would have blocked it.
I think an experienced keeper gets that ball, pokes it out of bounds for a corner.
And
who knows? Maybe they score
We don't
again,
know. We don't know.
But near post, just
And
it's a theme.
I watched it from home, and so the commentators were, Max and Dunny, and they're good dudes, and they know RSL well, and they know Portland well, and they were like, this to RSL feels like a loss.
Yeah.
It's a tie that feels like a loss, and for Portland, it's a tie that feels like a win because of the circumstances of how it came about, and never should have got there for RSL.
He gets a hand on it too.
Yeah, like fingers, but not a hand. And so Portland celebrates when the whistle's blown, right?
Very, very frustrating. So looking at the stats, RSL 51%. It's pretty even. FC Dallas actually had, we didn't look at the stats there, but they had 57% possession, which I was surprised.
Yeah.
But we had 18 shots, only 4 on goal.
And they only had 9 shots. We
9
had 18.
shots.
We totally dominated this game. But this is what happens with us in Portland and us in Houston, is we dominate the run of play. We dominate the chances. Did you see the end of game goals, expected goals?
What was it?
So remember, expected goals are the quality of the chances that are given up, right? So Real is 2.8, so basically 3, right? And expected goals for Portland, 0.6. So Evander's shot from way outside, very low probability. The weird flick-on header that hit the guy that just deflected in, low probability chance of scoring. And even the header from the 6 on the driven lofted ball, low probability of scoring. And yet we end up with a 3-3 tie. Basically, it means we totally outplayed them in every statistical category and still tied, which is frustrating, but also good because we played well. So it's great. Let's build on that. And, we got a bunch of the bottom standings still to go. We really need to start putting in 3, 3, 3, and 3 down the stretch here.
Yeah, we have 4 games left. We are in second place in the West with 51 points. LA Galaxy have 58. And LAFC is playing tonight. Colorado's right behind us at 50. I know one of the things that's on Twitter, Trey is just kind of going bananas. Colorado has had 16 penalty kicks.
For them?
For them. They've been given 16 PKs
really?
this season alone.
Dang.
And I think RSL's had like 4 in the last 15 years or something. I don't know if that's that might be an exaggeration.
Probably the stat.
Well, we don't spend. In the past, we don't spend much time in the box.
Yeah, and that's the argument.
And we still have more goals than them on the season.
Well, yeah, it's because we're balling out.
60 goals.
So tons and
but
tons.
Portland has 63 and like 9 against us.
And the most important goal differential, RSL sitting at 15.
Wow.
And one thing I was looking at too, there's only 3 other clubs with fewer away losses than RSL this year. And they happen to be the top 3 teams in the East: Miami, Cincinnati, and Columbus. 2, 3, and 3, and RSL has 4. Only
Cincinnati
4 losses.
has 10 road wins.
10, that's amazing.
And they still got a couple games left on the road. So,
and I was just checking in to see the score, see how LAFC is doing tonight on Monday night. I thought they played tonight. Nope, it's Wednesday.
Oh, no, that's LAFC 2 against Real Monarchs.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So they do have
1-0 in the 69th minute.
LAFC has a game to pick up against us, so
yep,
that's something to think about. So we are second place, great position.
The other thing was weird. Did you see what happened with Mason Toy?
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
He's only 25. He's in like his third or fourth team in MLS, and he's kind of been bounced around. And he's a whale of a player, but he got injured, and then Vera fell on him, but he fouled Vera first, and then Vera fell on him, and he kind of tweaked his back or something, and Portland was out of subs, so they couldn't really do anything.
Yeah,
it was a weird.
I was kind of surprised that we got the call on that. I think Toy was trying to, swim over. Vera's trying to keep him away from the ball, and
yeah, Dunny said, "I don't see much of a foul there from Toy."
Yeah. So
yeah, I guess whatever.
So we're in a good position. 4 games left. We can't wait for that final game of the season at home.
Again,
Vancouver.
Then the last thing that bothered me in this game is when Torrey was giving away yellow cards in the 55th minute. Gave one to Kamal Miller, gave one to the Weekend, and it looked like she gave him a second yellow. Remember, he just kept chirping, and she went like this, and then he still kept going. And I'm like, at what point, right? At what point does he just go? There's got to be a point. And he pushed it, and she backed down.
Yeah, at some point, you just make the call. Make them pay, especially if they're Portland.
Yeah, definitely.
So positives, RSL looks like their offense is coming back around.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing some very attractive and beautiful football on the offensive side and just turning off on the worst times.
Yeah, technically Beavers had 1 save.
We just need a little bit more consistency with our defense.
Yeah.
And I think we need to stop throwing so many names around. Because seeing Quentin thrown in there, Brody thrown in, we just need 4 guys that are going to be there, that are going to start the game. Keep them there, keep them healthy, keep it organized. If one of them gets gassed at the end of the game, send in 1 player and keep it that simple.
Yeah.
Backline can be simple. We can make the aggressors up front be complicated and overly tactic.
Switch around.
Yeah. Yeah, but that backline needs to be solid,
yeah.
Especially going into playoffs.
Yep. So next Saturday we're at Austin, and Austin's out of the playoffs, and
they bombed out against Houston, right? Gave up a late goal.
Lost 1-0. Then we come home on Wednesday, October 2nd. Real Salt Lake hosts Minnesota, and then we go to San Jose on the 5th, and the final home game on the 19th is RSL hosting Vancouver. And
the return of Krylock?
Yeah.
Krylock's return. It'll be his
Is he
last
playing?
game of all time.
He was in the 18.
He'll sub out, and we'll clap for him, and he'll never score again. Oh, wait, we already tried that.
Yeah.
I already tried to predict that on the podcast, and it didn't happen. Dang it.
So,
Maybe it'll happen this time.
4 big games. We'll see how it goes down the stretch to the playoffs. So, time for the Come On Crawley update. RSL in a well-played game. They outplayed the Wrexham, the Deadpools. They outplayed them.
And yet
they lost 2-1. They have the same situation where RSL's in. You need to find somebody up top to finish. We had an open goal situation where he beat the keeper, and instead of slotting it home, he skies it over. But really, dominated the... Here, I'll give you an example.
Katerna, is that the guy's name that scored?
So we went down...
Equalized in the 54th?
1-0 on a very similar play like RSL's corner kick goal where it rattles around in the box and then a defender slides it through. And then we scored, but on a great play to Katerna, go to 1-1, and then they gave up a dumb
late goal by Clivworth.
Look at this. 57.8% possession, 18 shots to 15, 7 shots on target to 3, 8 corners, 7 to 8 fouls. 7 fouls for us, 8 fouls for them. But really, Crawley Town is playing well, but Wrexham's at the top of League One.
Hey,
right
Crawley's
now.
sitting on 7 points.
Yeah.
In 17th place. Ooh.
That's not too bad. It's not too bad.
I mean, that's not bottom. There's 24 teams in the league, so they're not in the drop zone or anything.
And they got an opportunity. They play Bolton Wanderers coming up, that are one spot behind them.
And then my favorite team, Reading.
They down at the bottom again?
No, they were in the
Oh, they
Premier
were.
League a while ago, but they got a win recently and popped up to 16.
So similar situation. They just got to find out they're put on some finishing boots and get some goals, but they play beautiful soccer. Kind of like RSL's been playing the last couple of weeks. Very similar. It's really fun to watch.
So now I have a question for you. Does Wrexham go up again?
Probably.
2 seasons in a row. Will they make it a third?
They could.
Make it to the championship?
I looked at the wages. Birmingham is paying $12 million.
Yeah.
And they are at the top
That's
of
Tom
League One
Brady's team.
in wages.
Oh, yeah, and they kicked their butt.
Wrexham is in third, I think, at $6 million. Crawley
That's a
is-
big drop off.
Crawley is at the bottom, second to last. Guess what their player wages for the year are.
90.
3.
1.8. $1.8 million.
Wow.
At least according to the website I was looking at. So there is a huge disparity that is going on right now. But Crawley has no illusions about getting promoted. It's almost like they don't want to get promoted too soon
They
because
want to build.
the next step up from League One to the Championship is a massive step.
Yeah.
League Two to League One, it's a step. League One to the Championship, massive step. And then from Championship to the Premier League, that's probably.
Oh, it's like night and
greater
day.
step.
Yeah.
But it is a big step, and Crawley wants to. They would love to stay in League One for a short period of time, build up what they need to do. They have to improve there. If they go up to the Championship, they would have to make some changes with their stadium. I think there are minimum, like a 10,000 seat minimum for the Championship. So there's things to do, but the goal is to not get relegated.
Some chairs.
Yeah.
Get some seats.
Bring in some bleachers.
And bulldoze the one end.
Yeah.
Add
Oh,
a
did you
third
see?
row.
You should look up Wimbledon.
Which
Wimbledon had some flooding, and their pitch looks like a golf course
No.
in the one corner because of the flooding. So
Which Wimbledon? Wimbledon AFC or?
yeah,
Okay.
so that's your homework. Go look it up. So they don't know how they're going to play the games because it's just terrible. I thought if Dan Farn saw that, he'd probably start to cry.
Yeah, he would.
It was terrible.
Yeah, speaking of that, Real Monarchs just poked another one in.
Nice.
Gozo had the penalty in the 57th and Dylan in the 70th.
Oh, that's still
Had a
going.
kid,
and
little-
in case you
little
were
Monarchs.
wondering, we had Golapalooza 2024 again in the Black Tarantulas.
Oh.
U5. It was quite the experience.
Golapalooza, huh?
They have their flag.
Yeah.
You can go on Instagram and see their flag. And we decided that Tina is their mascot.
Tina
on the
is
flag.
the-
Tina the tarantula.
Oh, she is pretty cute. I mean,
That's clever.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep. So having a lot of fun there. And
Does she
U5
have a
kids
sister
are-
that's a goat? Or wait, a llama. Sorry.
I know.
I just disrespected Napoleon Dynamite.
I just have to be careful they spit.
What's up, Tina?
So what about you guys? We talked about Arsenal for a minute.
Yeah, so Arsenal. I want to talk about Pep Guardiola's leadership for a minute. Pep is a good leader. On a play, there was coming together. There was a bunch of pushing. It was like the ref was sick of it, right? He was like, look, I don't want to just start giving out yellow cards, but I'm sick of it. So he calls over Kyle Walker, and he calls over Bukayo Saka, and he talks to him because those are the two arm-wearing captains of the teams.
I saw a lot of the first half, and I thought there would be fisticuffs.
Oh yeah. It was getting heated, physical. So then the ref says, "All right, go back, let's go." Well, Arsenal had the free kick, and so they played kind of quick, and Kyle Walker was not back in position yet, and so he was running back, and they got it out to Martinelli on that wing. Martinelli got inside. Kyle Walker got back into position to slow him down, but then Martinelli played it up, and the new Italian kid just came in and whacked that ball into the far corner. 33, baby! It was so beautiful. Yeah.
I think it was a shot. They were saying, "Oh, that's a cross."
Yeah, they're like, it's a cross. I'm like, no way, man.
I think it
it
is
was
the
a
way.
he shot
No,
that.
I think
The
it's
way
a
he
pass. The way
shaped it
his
up.
hips are. He's not hitting through the ball. He's trying to finesse and put a curl onto it. I think I would.
That
see
was
it.
awesome. Anyway, so he scored a goal on that, and Pep was pissed at Walker, right? And they in the post game they asked him. They said, why were you so upset there? And he said, well, at first I was mad at Kyle for not being in his position on time. But then he told me the ref called him over and had that conversation with him. And then I was like, well, now I'm mad at the ref. The ref should have done better. He should have waited for my player he called over to get back in position, which is fair. But he kind of got back in position. So I was like, But anyway, I like the leadership from Pep to be like, yeah, I was mad till I got the proper information. Then I realized, hey, you know what? I got to change my mind because what I saw wasn't necessarily what happened. And, here we go.
And that's why I kicked my chair.
Adaptive leadership. Yeah. My chair is broken. And I burned it in the backyard. But,
see Pep
whatever.
kick his chair.
What's that?
Pep kicked his chair.
Yeah, that's why he kicked the chair. Yeah, the chair kicking.
And then I wish they would
They came back and tied very late.
Please, just get these guys punished. How long do we have to suffer?
Yeah, just give them a
Manchester
60-point
City?
penalty or something.
And,
Come on.
And also Erling Haaland. I just see him after they scored the game-tying goal, and I jinxed it. We were watching. We saw the highlights and we're watching it, and I says, "Oh my gosh, I think this is like literally in the 90-something minute." I mentioned to my wife, I think Arsenal's going to pull this off. She goes, "Don't say that. You jinxed it."
Jinxed it.
And then we watched the highlights. So somehow it's my fault because I jinxed it watching the highlights.
Watching the highlights after it had already happened.
Yeah.
Wow, that is some interstellar stuff going on right there.
I'm sorry, Arsenal fans. The one time I really want you to win. But then Erling Haaland, he should be suspended a game.
Oh, yeah, for bouncing the ball off the dude's head. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. After the goal, he grabs the ball out of the goal and bonks it 4 feet away, 5 feet away to the Arsenal guy with his shirt over his head.
No. My favorite one is like when they're done and he's talking and he goes to Arteta and he goes, "Stay humble, huh? Stay humble." And he gets, what was the other guy? Some other guy gets in his face.
Smack after the game. What a punk, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's like what you want to see, though.
I mean, if it's your team.
He's a great player, but, you can go too far.
Yeah.
Nah.
But they won't do anything to him. I mean,
Not
if
yet.
anybody else, if somebody did that to Erling Haaland, I mean, of course, if they did it to Erling Haaland, he'd probably fall down and start crying, too.
Yeah.
The way Man City is very gamesmanshipy.
Yeah.
But,
the Pep way.
It's usually their Spanish midfielder. What's the little guy's name? Fernando Torres or whatever?
Oh.
Torres. He's such an instigator, but he's like 3 feet tall, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is this guy going to hurt me? I don't think so.
What a team, though, man.
But Rodri is good. Oh, my gosh. Those guys are good.
Like, how often is he...
Freaking Stones, dude.
Well, he's
the one British guy on the team, and he scores the goal. Okay, Grealish is British.
I was going to say, because Phil Foden is also...
Okay,
but, like,
fine.
he sits
all
them.
Three of those guys
What's so crazy
awesome.
is, like, the people he sits are people that would be paid, like, millions upon millions, and they would, like...
every game on
start every game and have the tactics revolve around them. Like, that's...
Yeah.
It's
but
unfair.
At Man City, they're just another dude.
Would you do that, though? Like, Jack Grealish, I guess, did the championship mean that much to you? I mean, they must, but... I don't know. I don't know that I'd want to go play on that team.
Man City?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to play half the games. You get paid full price.
I think 4 years ago, yes, I would jump on that team immediately. 4 or 5 years ago, somewhere around there. But now there's no way. Nobody's going to want to go on there.
bandwagoning at this point, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully they get demoted.
All right, cool. This is fun.
They won't do
Great
that.
chat, gentlemen. All right. Also, we have some sponsors.
Yeah. Our sponsor this week
is
for the rest of September is I Love You Bro Project. So look it up, iloveyoubroproject.com. Help Joe out. Joe's looking for a few people to donate to the cause, to help out. And the whole notion around what Joe does at I Love You Bro Project is helping prevent suicide among us old dudes. Right? Old dudes, guys 35 to 65, account for 80% of the suicides in the state of Utah.
It's crazy.
Joe's on a mission to make that change.
He's
a
switch
big
over to the
poly
women,
brother.
right?
And no, Joe's a big poly brother. He's a great dude. He's there for you. And you know what? Let's watch out for our brothers.
Yep.
Thanks, Joe.
Yes, take a look at that. Also, follow us wherever you get your podcasts, especially on YouTube and goals.tv. And on the social medias, we would really appreciate it. And we need to get back to start giving some giveaways and stuff. We got stuff to do.
We got stuff to give away.
Yarn and
Yeah.
stickers and
Well, maybe not the yarn.
Glasses.
I want to live.
hats. We got some hats.
We got some hats.
We got
yeah.
some. So thanks for listening.